All right, dude. So if we're going to recap, do you want to just recap where we left off last session? I mean, it's mainly a scrap, wasn't it? But
yeah, for real. So so we smoked everybody,
literally.
killed off the queen, or the newer queen, not the real one. We already already done the kind of the more established one.
Yep.
So we smoked her, and then heard everything kind of dashing up the tunnel behind us, and went for a fireball along with Sidoli.
Patoli, yep.
Patoli, sorry. And kind of just lit our little toke sort of thing there as the thing came back.
As the fireball petered out, you just lit the end of your cheroot.
Yeah. And then what's his name? Sorry, bear with.
Halfling?
Yeah. Perrin had gone down and shanked Patoli just to make sure, just because he was pissed off of her for doing various.
He wanted to put her out of her misery.
100%, that's what it was. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, he shanked her. And
then he searched the body, didn't he?
Yes. So I think we found a map on some skin. I think that was pretty well damaged. So I think everything we kind of, and a brooch as well. For the.
So do you have two of those now? Those brooches?
Yeah, we do.
One? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was it. I think we just left it there.
Okay, and I should probably say she's had some valuables of summing about 250 gold pieces.
Cool, lovely.
Okay, so the smoke has settled. The ants have been fragged.
Yeah.
This is your second time in. First time round, you spoke to this queen and she sent you off to kill the other queen, who she said was an imposter. And then you found your way out after falling down that trap dungeon, which this Patoli pulled the lever and sent you down into it.
Yeah.
And that you
laughed as well, bitch.
Oh, that was a bit of you. That was the probably the thing that finished her off, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
No mercy for the laugh.
Yeah.
And then you managed to escape that flooding dungeon before it got flooded.
Yeah.
And then you went back into, because the town had paid you to eliminate the hive, so you went back in to finish the job.
Yeah.
And
so we saved the young lad. So he got him back off to his.
Yeah, he already skedaddled. Yep.
Yeah. After making sure he was all right.
Okay. So I guess and you found a ring on Patoli as well, didn't you?
Oh, we did. Yes. You're right. I'll write that down.
Tell you what, I presume you've got to search around and stuff. So I'm going to throw, just for the good form of it, I'm going to have to drop the window down, but give me a. You cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I'll find it on my phone. So let's just see.
Right?
Yeah. I was looking for a file, and I can't do it without. Apparently, because I'm recording it, I can't. I don't have power to minimize it. Maybe because I don't know, it might go to that dodgy folder or something. I don't know. What's good? Right. Okay. You can either roll for it or you can give me a number, but I'm just gonna.
I'll roll for it every time, man.
It might be a bit of a weird number, but we'll.
What do you want me to roll?
It's going to be. I'm just looking it up, but it's probably less. It's going to be less than 30, but more than 20. So you might want to roll. I don't know, a D100, and if you get above 30, have you got a number that's between 1 and 22? I think by the looks of it, or thereabouts.
1 and 22. 11.
11. Okay, well that's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. In amongst on Patoli, you also find this what looks like a drum, like I don't know, about the size of, like about that wide. It's made of a series of bands going from platinum to copper.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a loop.
Sealed or?
No, it's an open. It's like an open hoop. It's like a series of hoops on top of each other, like that.
Okay, cool.
Imagine, yeah. So.
Okay, cool. All right then. Thank you. We're fairly beat up now, to be honest. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna skedaddle. I think is probably the thing that
yeah.
I need to be doing.
So remember, the getting out is easier than getting in.
Yeah.
So, well, for two reasons. One, because the die roll goes in your favor, you know, the navigation hex, and also because you get a +1 on your roll, so you can choose, you can bend the direction. You got a 1 point to spend on your roll to bend the direction in the way you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you roll a 12, you can make it, you know, a 10, an 11, or a 2 on the roll. So why don't you go for it?
Okay, but first things first, the cleric is going to cast on both the fighters have both been pretty well creamed, to be fair. A magic user. Okay, cool. So the cleric can cast 5 first level spells. So he's going to cast 5 Cure Light Wounds, 2 on each of the fighters, and then 1 on the magic user.
So he's going to cast 6 lots of Cure Light Wounds, is he?
5.
Okay, right.
2 on each fighter and 1 on the magic user.
You go ahead and do that. I'm no need for the rolls. You just roll them and add them. While you're doing this, nothing untoward happens.
Oh, good. Draw my sword.
The old, yeah, random encounter of the wilderness. So, draw my sword.
Okay, so he's back up. 2 7s for the lower fee for Homer. That was good.
Can't beat that. Well, you can beat it, but not by much.
Oh, you can beat it. 2 8s. How cool is that?
All right, we've got to see these rolls now, man. I'm not having that. Really? Wow.
It's a magic user that really needs it now. You watch, you'll get 1 now. No, got 2.
Well, if
to
he's
be
got
fair, though, he didn't need that many to get back up again. He's quite rubbish.
How many's he got?
For a 7th level magic user, 14.
Old school, man. Old school.
That's pretty poor, man. Anyways.
2 times 7.
Cool. Okay.
Wow, that's low, isn't it? 14.
So, that's very low, man. It's for a 7th level character as well, man. You just like, geez, that's pretty rough.
Well, 2.5 times 7, 14. Yeah, you would expect him to have like, yeah, nearly 19 or so. Obviously, doing old school.
Which, to be fair, it's still really low for a 7th level character as well. You're just like, that's proper low, man.
Yeah, one smack by someone, some beastie, and he's out.
Yeah. Okay, so a D4, a D6, a D20, and a D8. Oh, sorry, we're doing we're going back thing, aren't we?
You're doing navigation, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you get?
Hang on. Remind me how to do that.
2d6, and then you look at the
2d6.
navigation. Yeah, look at the navigation hex.
Yeah. And I'm coming from 4. Yeah.
You're right at the top, zone 4.
Okay, 8.
8. So you can either go to zone 3A, or you could spend that point and pull you straight down. I don't know. To be fair, with the edge rules, you might be better off staying the course of where you are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's probably slightly better, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right, let me just roll.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so, you need to do your dressing.
Okay, so it's a small chamber Hexagonal. With a lemony taste.
Get a lot of tastes in this dungeon. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you come into this room, basically you hear it long before you get in there. You just hear this kind of screeching and kind of clicking and clacking, and so cautiously approach, and you see 3 warrior ants that seem to be kind of like almost like they're fighting each other. They seem very confused. And by the way, yeah, the terrain is now kind of earth and ground with some stones inside of it. So you kind of figure you're going in the right direction.
Yep.
Which you can tell by
nice.
the number, but let's do it narratively too.
Yeah. So I guess so before with the ants, were there any kind of the 2 kind of groups? Were there any particular distinctions between them or anything? Were they kind of just ants, or were there any different markings? Or I guess it would be a scent thing for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you've been in there a while. Let's give me a d20. I'm just going to say if you get 15 or above.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
6.
Okay, so to you, man, we're talking about, man, these are just ants. We're talking about
ants, man. I just need to step on them. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess because it's such a small room, it's probably going to be a bit difficult to get by them without kind of getting involved.
Well, you could try. I mean, they're clearly distracted.
Are they fully engaged in each other? They're quite clearly distracted, are they? Or
yeah, they're pretty distracted. I mean, basically, they're sort of whenever they bump into each other, they kind of like have a go, and it's just sort of basically, you would have expected them before to immediately spotted you and come for you, but they're not. They don't appear to recognize you as a threat. Now, if you attack them, that I guess might change because they're fully healthy. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're just they're aggressive.
Oh, okay. So they're just kind of like get the fuck off me, rather than like proper snapping each other and taking chunks out of each other.
Yeah, they're aggressive, but they don't seem to be, I don't know, almost like a couple of dogs fighting over a bone or something. They don't seem to be trying to kill each other, but they're not being matey or anything. They're basically, so you could tell they're not what you would normally expect from your experience of them before.
Cool.
They're not organized and not aggressive like when seeing you.
Yeah. So I think
You said it was a small room, did you?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure where the lemony smell's coming from.
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I mean, maybe when they're because of they're distressed, maybe they're giving out weird pheromones.
It's kind of different type of pheromone that we've not really seen before. I guess with no queens or whatever around. Well, not the 2 that we're aware of.
Distress call or something. Trying to reach out to the hive.
Okay.
Trying to reach out to the queen, not hive mind. So I think
not getting anything back.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got a fair chance of creeping past if you're cautious.
There is that. I think the only thing that would kind of be pressing on the guys' minds, apart from obviously the thief who just shanked Patoli, is they're all fairly good in alignment. We went back in again to try and sort out the kind of the ant problem.
Yep.
So I think we're probably kind of almost on a bound to do that still. So with the thief going with Haynar, the Callum Savage going by himself, the fighter magic user and the cleric, so like 3 groups, and then the magic user that we're just talking about, is just going to hang back there, just because they're just they've got no more spells to offer. They've got barely any hit points, so they're just going to hold back and just keep an eye out for other things coming in, just to warn people.
Sure. Okay.
So 3 groups, 1 on each ant.
Okay.
And that's the 3 groups as they are.
The way it's going to work is you basically hit unless you roll below a 5. So just roll for hit and damage. You go first because they're distracted.
Okay.
So
I'll do the thief and the fighter first, and you're happy it's 5 for both?
Yep, it's basically, you know, you're unless you like it completely screwed up, it's a hit.
Right. Okay. Well, here we go.
Yeah, if you roll a 5 or lower. 5 or lower.
Okay, cool. So the first 2 both hits. So the fighter and the thief. Or hang on. So for a total of 10.
Okay, that's
on
first
that
ant.
one. Is he dead or just?
He's not.
Nope. Oh dear. Oh boys. The second fighter has the 3-2 thing. Did you get 2 attacks?
Yeah, you can always lead your first round. You can always lead with your double. He's not fatigued.
Okay, cool. So he only hits once.
Oh, you're kidding me. It's like stabbing fish in a barrel. You have to come to get a 1 though, yeah?
So?
If you get a fumble,
no, it was a 3. It was a 3. Oh, yeah.
Just to make it interesting.
So he does 10 damage.
Okay. Still alive.
And then the other 2 guys both hit.
Okay.
For 10 again.
That one does die. That one you do chop him up.
Cool.
Okay. So these guys are good. These guys, obviously, now they're being attacked while still disorientated. They're going to just do this first. Okay. They bizarrely decide to attack each other.
Oh.
1 hits, but doesn't manage to kill it. That's it.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll help them on their way.
Yeah, I think this unless you roll 1s, you'll almost certainly kill them this time. Well, all right, roll it.
Okay. So I'll do the first 2 guys first of all. Oh my god. 3 and a 4.
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking, man.
It's like stabbing ants in a barrel.
Yeah, for real. I guess I've totally missed you. The one guy by himself, he hits for 5.
Okay, that one's dead this time.
Hey. I should have said at the beginning.
Yeah, pick.
What was I planning to do? Sorry. Do you know what? I'm going to roll a dice to see which one they go for. So evens will be the one on with the 2 guys.
All right, you tell me.
Both odds.
Oh, really?
So they went to the wrong end. They had too little faith in Callum, which is understandable. Fucking Callum Savage.
Rightio. So we've got 1 ant left.
Yeah.
He's got no other ants to pick, so he's going for you, but he misses.
Hey. Okay. Everybody now on the same one. So the 2 boys both hit. For 12.
Okay, dead. Right. So you polish these suckers off.
Cool.
So, you know, they're definitely disoriented, but they're definitely still, you know, they are a little bit lively threat if it goes wrong. And, you know, combat's dangerous. So you've got to be careful not to hurt yourselves.
Yeah, not to muck up. Yeah, absolutely. Like your thing. So So I'll do the kind of the standard thing that we've been doing. So because we were getting stuff for the pincers, weren't we? So we'll,
yeah, and
we'll
the stinger glands,
off them.
and the stinger glands from the warriors.
From the warriors, yes, you're right. And given that they're dead now, is the kind of the lemony smell starting to
dissipate a little bit? Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of. Just trying to.
I mean, maybe the other thing is that they were, because they were bickering with each other, they were kind of spraying their stinger poison on each other a bit, which is basically like concentrated acid.
Oh, okay. So kind of almost like a citric acid type thing coming up from the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing most associated with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to think if there's any way that the guys could capture that kind of smell. Or the thing there, just to kind of give to the villagers if anything kind of happens again, it's a worthwhile thing to try and.
Yeah, well, you could. I don't know how you would capture it. I mean, it's a good question. You could try to. I don't know whether your magic user's got like a jar, but it's probably. I mean, you might be able to get it in a jar and then like go to someone who, another magic user might be able to.
Well, I was thinking maybe the druid. The one might be the helpful thing there.
Yep. I mean, I guess the question is, if it was the pheromone trying to find the queen, would that be helpful? Because if you put it on yourself, you might just like kind of attract the queen to your attention. So it might be maybe dangerous thing to do. But then again, it might draw her out. Might be like a way of.
That was going to be my immediate point back as well. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've got any glass vessels or anything. I mean, I suspect.
I don't think we do, to be fair. I've certainly not noted anything down, and there was nothing on before. So I guess they've kind of fallen down things and stuff. I imagine they'd be smashed by now, wouldn't they? If we
probably.
did.
So if you can roll a natural 20, then one of your for either of the magic users, maybe their academic studies will know what this compound is, or something that smells. They might be able to like put it in their brain for later to recreate.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's give it a go. Oh, it was close. 18.
Almost got it. Almost got it.
Almost. Just thinking about it, but
you know what?
I was just thinking about lemon drizzle cake.
It was that cheroot, man. He's got too much cheroot in his system. Hey, man. I can nearly
get down with the druids, man.
I can nearly feel it. I can feel it, dude. I can't remember what did the great Lebowski. What did the great Lebowski always say? I can't remember. Have you seen that film?
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges or whatever it is.
Yeah. I'll come back to you on that one, man. But yeah, no, that's
all right. Anyway, right. So, cool. What do you want? What are your hombres going to do now?
Well, I guess if there's nothing else in this room, we'll obviously have a good look around the room, make sure see if there's anything kind of worth purloining. Otherwise, though, we'll move on.
Nope, nothing. You didn't find anything worthwhile.
Okay. 8 again.
Ooh, 8 again. Right. So +1. You could spend one of your free points to go down to a diagonal square here. But actually, I think you're probably better off going. Actually, I should stop telling you what to do. So do. But you can spend an insight point to go end up in recon -1 on the opposite side of the hex.
Yeah, I gotta say I looked at that, but then also there's only one line down. Not greatly helpful. The only thing I wondered if I just go straight down here, just because if I kind of carry on going the same way that I'm doing, then I'm going to end up back where I started. I don't tell you that though, man. I'm happy. I'm happy where we are. That's cool. Okay. I'll just stay where we are.
All right then. And you got an 8, didn't you?
Yes.
So the terrain is still the same. It's sort of hard packed dirt with like broken masonry in it.
Okay, and it's still that kind of that same masonry that we had. Is it the same masonry we had before?
Yeah, it basically looks like from, you know, in zone 4 it was basically more or less, you know, it looks like the hive has basically been built on top of some sort of building. It's sort of like maybe there's a building there before and it's come over the top, and as you got towards the queen, you got more of that masonry being worked in, as if it's been crumbled up and worked over by the ants, like plowed.
Yeah,
Start to get worked in. So the closer you get to the queen, the more of that masonry is there. So at the moment, you feel that you're in the same zone you were before, you know, close to the queen, but moving in the right direction. So why don't you do your train, dude?
So we're in a medium room or chamber. It's amorphous with some obstacles.
Okay.
And it's another taste. We have a bitter taste in the mouth.
Bitter taste. I'm gonna say it's almost so bitter. It's a really strong bittery taste. It's almost reminds you of like one time when the party were traveling on a sea voyage. You hitched a ride with a fishing boat, and it basically was obviously between trips, and you could only, this is right when you were young adventurers, and you had to sit in the sort of like empty storage area where the fish were. It was such a incredibly pungent fishy taste that it just reminds you of that.
Okay, I'll draw my sword.
Fair enough. I'm assuming you've got your weapons ready because you're in a
definitely, man.
Hazardous locale.
Always. Anything else in this room? Anything is it more?
Oh yeah. What are the tell me about the obstacles, because you rolled obstacles. What are they? It's an amorphous room.
I'm thinking. She was just saying about being kind of previously being. There was our discussion just a second ago about it kind of being built over either buildings or buildings. I think as we're kind of getting up here now, so we're into the zone kind of not quite 2, but we're kind of getting there. I wonder if this is maybe the slight obstacles here are kind of the tops of roofs of things that are just jutting up through the through the ground. So yeah. So
there's some like peaked almost like worked masonry, so possibly the tops of broken columns.
Yeah.
So basically some worked masonry that forming like pokey up things.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Nothing else in the room that we can see. There's, you've not failed to mention a 2-headed black dragon in there as well.
Not this time. Yeah, no, there isn't a dais in the middle of the treasure with a 2-headed black dragon on it. Not. Anyway, okay. So you're looking around to see if you can see anything. Can you?
Yeah. So I mean, one of my main concerns is I think previously when we've kind of had smells a little bit like this, there's been obviously the unseen stalker thing. Is it the unseen stalker?
Slithering tracker. Okay, so based on this this sort of strange fishy smell, you're going to like actively look for something that might be where a slithering tracker might be, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Give me a D20, please.
4.
All right. No. Nothing in this room.
No, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's good. Cool. We skip through, all holding hands. Yeah, we'll go through. Obviously we'll have a look around, see if there's anything. Try and have a look at, the tops of these. Again, possibly more for academic purposes, but just look at the top of these pillars, just seeing if there's any kind of hieroglyphs or kind of symbols and stuff that we might, you know, be able to memorize or kind of pass on to other people.
All right. Okay, yeah. I mean, your mages are sort of taking academic interest in it. Okay. Yeah. So while you're doing this, give me the 6th in the party, right?
Yeah.
Give me a marching order, please. It's fighter, magic user, thief, cleric.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a d6.
1.
1.
Which would be, if you're going for a long thing, that would be Callum, who's the toughest.
Okay. Well, as Callum's going along, basically he steps in this puddle and completely oblivious to the world around him, is completely surprised by this slithering tracker. and I mean surprised, not it's not that he didn't see it. So this thing is going to get essentially a complete free attack on your chum.
Yeah.
And to be fair, actually, give me a D2 as well. Actually, sorry, give me a D6 as well.
Another D6.
Yeah, please.
4.
Okay, so you don't surprise it, but it surprises you.
Of course it does. Of course we don't.
I think what's the ironic thing is that I think last time round it was Callum Savage who remembered the smell. Do you remember in the last time round?
Oh, when yes, I think it was. No, you're right.
Wait,
yeah.
guys, wait! I remember the smell.
Hang on.
Nothing. No, it's not the same smell. It's definitely not the same smell.
Nothing happened last time. It's not as if there was any that ran away from us.
I had all my numbers jotted down last time, but this time because I was joining late, I don't have them written down, which is a bit annoying. My bit of paper. Right. Anyway, stop whinging about that. Where the hell is this thing? AC, please.
2.
Okay. Okay, he hits.
Yeah.
Of course he does. Okay, can you give me a save versus paralysis, please?
17.
Is it 17, is it?
No, I just rolled 17.
Oh, right. I think you need to roll high, don't you, from memory? I always have to check this because...
Is it petrification and
it says paralysis. It says paralysis, which is... So you're 11, you're 7, aren't you? So you need 10 or above, so you're all right.
Oh, is it against death then, is it?
Well, I guess it is death in there, but it's the same column as paralyzation.
Yep, that's cool. Just so I know for thing there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I've got them written down.
Okay.
Just not those extra bits.
Because basically you stepped on him, it basically immediately just attacked you because it didn't know any better.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what do you want to do? So it's basically wrapped itself around Callum's leg. Oh, he hit, didn't he? Did I roll a damage roll? I didn't.
No, you didn't roll damage. No.
All right. So only 1 point of damage. This is presumably didn't manage to do you any harm, but
okay.
The juices definitely was seeping into his like boots and things. You can feel this thing. As he stepped in like this, it just went like a kind of almost reflex to grab you.
Yeah.
It's probably used to eating ants, so probably like something steps in it and it just goes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's not a very big one.
No.
So you have a bit of an issue, actually. I suppose it's currently wrapped around Callum's leg.
Yeah. So not just going to be able to go and belt it or anything like that at all.
I mean, I guess he could try rip his boot off or something and see if that kind of. Or someone could try. Yeah, I don't know what you can do. It's a good question.
I mean, if it's kind of wrapped around his boot, does that mean that it's still got like, it's kind of, as you say, it's kind of come up.
That's true.
Like that around the boot.
Yeah, there's still some of it. You're right. There is still some of it in like a puddle or like that. So yeah, you could attack it, try to stab it around the base of his leg.
So I think and I guess are the other guys going to be able to get there like now, or is it just Callum by himself?
Well, we're going to have to roll for initiative anyway. But what I would say is you're going to need to think carefully about what you do, because if Callum starts hopping around the place, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to stab this thing.
Yeah.
But if he like keeps still or something and lets everyone help, then that might work. But I think he's gonna.
Yeah.
He probably needs to. He maybe needs to make a wisdom roll to decide if he does anything. You choose an action which you want him to do, and then see if he's smart enough to execute it.
Yeah. So essentially, my kind of thought process is he'll just push down really hard with that foot so that it's stuck under his foot and against the floor, and maybe try and grind as well.
Grind down on it. All right.
But then by having that there, if there's still bits around it, people can come in and stab the bits.
So he's
going to
say, "Get that!" He's going to try to stomp down and tell his mates to like get the bit that's pinned. So give me his wisdom then. You got to roll equal or less than his wisdom. I don't think it's very wise from memory. It's 13, is it?
Are you sure it's not above?
Well,
you're 13. Well done.
You're trying to make a pass your wisdom check, so you want to get 13 or lower. So obviously, if you had 18, you want 18 or lower.
Sure, you don't want to make it above. Sure. 17.
Oh, I see. So, unfortunately, while this plan vaguely skirts through his head about doing, he basically kind of like freaks out and starts trying to actually hack at it himself.
Yeah. Okay.
So your mates can have a go now if they want to, but they will. There is a risk they're gonna get Callum at the same time.
Stab him. I think what they'll do is everyone else will kind of come over, ready for if it detaches to then stab it.
I guess they could try to restrain Callum, like pin him down and like.
I mean, you said it wasn't a big one, so I think when they get over there, they'll be able to see it and kind of go, okay, well, let's just get ready. Callum's a big lad. Hopefully, he'll be able to kind of bosh it up at least.
All right, so let's do that then. So, should we roll for initiative? D10, please. Low is good.
7.
8.
Hey. Okay, cool. So I'll give you 2 thwacks if I may.
Yes. I'm going to say at -1 because he's got to be careful not to run his foot through.
Yep. Okay. He does have +1 to hit because of his strength, and also +1 because of his sword. So just at +1 then. With a natural 3 and an 11. So
he does hit one.
3 definitely misses by the sounds of it, but the other one with 12.
Yeah, he hits.
Hey.
Just check his AC again, sorry. What did he say he rolled?
11 +1, 12.
Okay, yeah, he does hit.
Yep.
So give me your damage. I'm also going to say
12. At 12.
-1 damage as well because he's trying not
7.
to stab too hard. Okay,
7.
so it's this thing's turn to attack.
Oh.
It's not dead, but it definitely is unhappy. AC 2, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I'm going to give it a +1 because it's attached to you already. Okay. It's certainly disgruntled by your stab, so it kind of sort of squirms around but doesn't actually get you.
Okay. Lovely. So the guys are kind of like, so Callum's obviously fairly involved in getting rid of this. Excuse me. The guys are going to kind of scream at him to say, look, mate, hold still, push down, and then we can do stuff. Whether he listens or not, I guess, is another thing. I guess he's kind of, it took him quite so by surprise. Then maybe this next turn he might listen to.
Well, yeah, okay. So I'm going to say that basically because he's already panicked, it's going to take quite something to break his mindset. So he's going to need 5 or less to come up with a rush to realise that he should be listening.
Okay.
5 or less.
On a D6.
Yeah. And he said, yes, man.
The creepers. 20.
Okay. Right. He just completely is lost the plot now, and
I think this is a true Callum Savage moment where Tim.
No kicking Callum. No kicking Callum. So I'm going to say he kind of goes full turbo on this, and actually he loses the plot so badly that he starts to run down the corridor.
Wow.
He's not even going to attack. He's trying to like leg it off himself. But this thing is still attached.
Yeah.
It's going to have a go at him. So he's losing his attack round as he's trying to bolt away. But it's still clinging on for dear life, so it doesn't hit him. So what are your friends going to do now? They start seeing Callum start heading. I'm even going to say he's thrown his sword down and starts to run.
Jeepers.
He's completely freaked out by it. Because we all know that Callum's got a phobia of washing or something. He can't bear wet flesh, wet against his leg.
The cleric in that case, just kind of seeing everything going a little bit peak-tone, is going to cast a whole person on Callum.
Okay.
To stop him from.
I don't think you have to.
Badly.
I don't think you have to make a save for that, do you?
Give me 2 seconds.
And it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because normally you're helping somebody who doesn't make a save, but yeah, have a quick look. Do you want me to look, or you?
No, that's right.
I love it. You got to love a 20 when you want one, don't you?
Yeah, for real, man.
I think in this scenario, I'm considering it essentially a fumble.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I was like, oh, geez, man.
Funny.
Oh no, you do get a save. But if it's cast at one person, the saving throw dice is at -2.
Well, let's do the save anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a bit weird, isn't it? Because it's kind of friendly magic, isn't it? You don't normally roll on friendly magic, do you? You know, if you want to heal somebody, you don't have a save.
Yeah.
So I think Callum he doesn't want to be stopped, does he? Actually,
no, he's off. Obviously,
what's his save against spell?
Save against spell is 13.
Okay, so and you said minus what?
-2 if there's one person.
So you need to go. You need to get 11 or more. No, wait
11
up.
or more. Yes, sorry.
No, wait up. No, the other. Why do I get this wrong? Always get this wrong. So these numbers are going down. So you need. No, it's the other way. You need to get 15 or more.
15 or more.
Is that right? Yeah, because you're 13 now, so you need to go. Yeah, 15 or more.
Yeah, 20.
Oh, actually, 15 or more to make the save. So you want 15 or less
To fail it. Yeah.
To capture him, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, so 14 or less, and you freeze him.
Am I rolling, or do you want to roll?
Oh, you can roll.
Okay. 5. Back to normal dice.
Yes, so he fails his saving throw, which means he's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And I'm rather hoping that he goes in that position with the foot that's been attached on the ground.
What, you mean my panto leg in the air? Actually, that's a good point. I should at least roll for initiative, because if this tracker goes before you, he'll get his hit. So give me a D10.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You got.
He rolled off a 1. 9.
Okay, the tracker goes first. And misses. Guys, he really sucks at hitting. Okay, so what are you going to do? You've frozen Callum Savage. I mean, do these guys, what do you think they're going to do? Because obviously they didn't know would you think they'd know this? The cleric's going to do this. What do you think they would do if they didn't know the cleric was going to freeze him? Would they going to run after him and try to grab him or something, or what do you think they would naturally do?
I think the magic user hasn't got the pure magic user hasn't got much to add, so I think he would go to pick up the sword.
Okay, good.
The halfling has his boots of leaping and bounding, so might have tried to like jump past him to go
block the way.
Stop!
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
And then so the cleric cast a spell. The two other fighters, I think, would have pegged it after him, to be honest.
Okay, so tell you what. So by the time they get there, he's frozen. So let's roll for initiative. I think that's basically the action up. So everyone knows what's happened now. Callum is stuck with his leg up in the air with a slinging tracker. Like his phobia of slithering things is not going to be helped by this. He's now pinned.
Not really, man. Not really. We'll have to make it. Maybe we'll make him some jelly out of it or something.
What's that? Make some jelly out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, beat a 2, dude. Well, two all there.
Yeah, I definitely did, man. Hey.
Yeah, right. Okay, so he's gonna have another go at digesting his leg. Oh, he hits this time.
Ooh.
So, and he does 1 point of damage again.
Ooh.
So give me a save versus, well, death again or whatever.
Yep.
So what do you need? You need
10, I think, wasn't it? 10.
Okay, you give me that roll.
Failed. 6.
Okay. So Callum Savage's problems only multiply. Not only has he had whole person cast on him, he actually starts feeling that his body is beginning to kind of seize up from his leg upwards. So I'm going to say that Callum Savage actually has a phobia of jellies from his young adventuring days when, I don't know, he got enveloped in a
gelatinous cube or something.
Exactly, and had to be pulled out by his hair. So ever since then, he's like completely freaked out by jellied creatures. No, doesn't matter what level he is, because he nearly got digested. He just cannot cope with jellies.
Fair enough.
And his phobia's only just gone to the roof.
Mm.
So let me just. He's got the double lockdown on him at the moment.
Yeah.
Full person and paralysis.
Yeah, dear. Well, you should have been paying attention, the retard.
Yeah, he was certain. He was absolutely certain that it wasn't a thingy. Let me just see. Okay. So, what's the rest of the crew going to do?
So the other two fighters were there to kind of try and twat this thing.
So presumably
magic user picking up the sword.
Yep.
The thief was blocking the other exit out, so he's going to come toward them now. Yep. And then the cleric obviously has just cast a spell, so he's going to come toward them as well.
Okay, so they're all essentially they're all going to try have a go attacking this thing.
I mean, if they can, obviously aside from the magic user, is going to stay well out because he'd just die.
Yeah, because Callum's
the other four guys, if they can all attack, then they will.
Yeah, I think they can, because basically he's like this now, his leg in the air. They can just sort of like, because he's not moving. It's pretty, you still got to get a -1 hit because of the don't want to run Callum Savage through his leg.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me your rolls.
Okay.
So do you want to do your first fighter first?
Yeah. First fighter. 3.
3.
Oh dear.
Missed.
Fighter magic user.
Yep.
Oh, 20. That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Give me a roll.
Yeah. The 2. I have +1 damage though. Oh, and I have a long-term +2.
So give it to me.
So +7. Because you don't double the pluses, do you?
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay, cool. In that case, then 10.
Okay. So basically, he kind of like goes almost with this like death move, just carves it off the leg.
He is an elf. He is an elf. He would do that. Yeah.
This thing plops on the ground and then makes a bolt for it.
Oh, okay. Can the other 2 guys try and?
Oh yeah,
stab
they've got. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the thief, you mean?
The thief and the cleric.
Okay, yeah, sure. I forgot they had another go. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna say your cleric isn't close enough because he did the spell last time, so he's trying to get there. So just your thief.
Cool. So the thief rolls a 12.
Ooh.
But he does have a dagger +2. So 14, but then -1, so 13.
Okay, he just missed. Just missed it.
Yeah, got it.
If it weren't for that -1, he would have been. Okay,
Yeah.
should we do an initiative?
Yes, please.
So this thing is making a bolt for it. If it makes an initiative, 5, you got to beat a 5 or equal. Okay, you can have a go.
Cool. Okay. I do the elf first. I think you're still like, check out that shot from before, guys. They've always a 7.
You don't get your -1 now because it's free of the boot.
Okay. The fighter. Oh, 18.
Okay. Right, you just like. You want to roll for the glory?
Yep. I'm just seeing what damage adjustments he gets. +2. 5.
Okay, so he just skewers this to the spot. Clap. And that's it. It's done. They're just quivered away.
Cool. Okay. So now I think if this was a group where it was lots of other people playing characters, they'd probably drape it over the Callum's head and all the other bits and pieces, like put some in his pockets and stuff. That's certainly what I would do.
Draw some big eyebrows on him. You mean that kind of thing? It's a life and death situation.
Let's try and make it like a proper face, like mustache, and just drape it over him so we could do stuff.
Gonna get some more jellies on if I were them. More jellies.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Callum is in this rather awkward shape with one leg in the air like this.
Yeah.
He looks like basically like an action figure in full running stride, but he's basically frozen.
Okay. Cool. So
I presume
yeah, we're obviously gonna have to wait until that.
I presume the cleric can dismiss whole person, can't he? So he.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I'm going to say he can because I can't imagine there's any need to.
Okay.
But he's definitely still paralysed.
So the boys are. They wouldn't necessarily know that he'd failed his saving throw in front of that at all. But they are just going to kind of be ready near him, kind of just like they all get in front of it, like the 2 biggest guys kind of get in front of him, just go like this, come on mate, ready to stop and stuff, so that when the cleric then releases it, if he does fall over, they can catch him.
And the cleric's like, I don't get it. He's that spell's off. I don't know why he's still, cross-eyed like this. I think
so whilst they're doing that, certainly definitely the thief, I guess the cleric is busy, the 2 fighters, I think the mage is just going to hang on to the sword for the second to give it back to Callum in just a jiff. The thief will probably just go around and just make sure there are no other kind of puddles around or in front of that at all that smell bitter.
That's just a bit of sense of resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't find anything else, but yeah, you now have a bit of a problem because you're not sure how long Callum's going to be in this state, and staying here is probably dangerous. So unless you can
see what the cleric can do,
release him from this, you're going to have to probably carry him.
We're starting to kind of think on our feet of, as you say, right, if we can't do anything, then we're going to have to do something. So I guess it's a poison, is it? That's taken hold of him?
Well, you've got like cure poison, do you?
Yeah.
What's it say? Because it doesn't. It says it paralyzes him. Secretion of the monster will paralyze the victim. I mean, you might
that would kind of act as a poison, wouldn't it?
You might construe it.
There isn't actually a remove. There isn't a cure paralysis or a remove paralysis at all.
I mean, given that you don't really know what it is, I guess your cleric might try it, and we can roll.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he fails, then unless there's no save, then we could try it, I suppose. What's it say?
Neutralize poison. No saving throw.
Okay.
By means of neutralize poison spell, the cleric detoxifies any sort of venom in the creature or substance touched. Note that an opponent, such as a poisonous reptile or snake, or even an envenomed weapon of an opponent, unwilling to be touched, so requires a cleric to score a hit in melee combat. Effects of the spell are permanent, only with respect to poison existing in the touched creature at the time of the touch. The reverse of the spell poison likewise requires an attack, but if the victim is allowed saving throw versus poison, if the latter is unsuccessful, the victim is killed by the poison. Oh, wow, that's quite nice.
Right.
But that's if you do the reverse to poison someone.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. Why Silex before save the throw table in this DMG? That's a good question.
Oh, doesn't it? They did put quite a lot into Silex, didn't they?
Well, what I'd say is you could try it, but between me and you, I think we would have to make a roll because it's not strictly a poison. So I think it's, you know, maybe just
it's kind of the effect of that. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we don't quite know what's going on anyway, so we don't know enough about the slithering trackers to know whether it's a poison or not. So I'm gonna try it.
Well, to be fair, you might as well. I've got a number in my mind. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you tell me what you roll. Unless you want to know, actually, I can tell you.
D20.
Yeah. Do you want to know what you're trying to get? No.
No, there's not making a difference. You're going to roll a 4.
You reckon, eh? You called it. Unfortunately, Callum Savage remains looking like a piece of Tetris.
Okay. As you say, it's dangerous to kind of stay around there.
Your cleric is like, yeah, it's definitely not a poison.
Ooh. Did we have? What level was it? Bear with me, mate. Can't believe I called that, man. Nice.
Yeah, funny. I'm happy to look anything up you want me to as well.
Okay, cool.
Save time, but
no, I was just trying to see if there are any spells that the guys might have, but there isn't. Or there is, but he hasn't got any spells left. Okay, cool. So we're going to have to carry him.
So I think you need 2. So I presume is your fighter.
Going to have to be, isn't it?
Well, you got to fight a magic user. Presumably he's quite strong.
Yeah, so he's got 16. They both got 16 strength for those two. So
you could use the fighter magic user and maybe the cleric. I don't know if you want to put the other fighter up front.
Yeah, I think that's
What's the other? What's the strength of the? What's the other magic user's strength out of interest, or the thief?
12
for the other magic user.
Thief. Oh, thief is actually 14.
Okay, I think
which is higher than the cleric.
All right. Well, I'd say that
but he's obviously a lot smaller.
But he can put the leg on his shoulder, couldn't he?
Yeah.
All right. I think your thief and your fighter magic user can basically cart him. Now, obviously, if there's a combat situation, they're going to have to put him down carefully. They can't just, well, they can throw him down, but he'll take damage. But they can carry him. So we need a marching order.
Okay.
So you got the father Haynar at the front.
Yep.
And then presume you have magic user, and then cleric, and oh no, it's fighter magic user. Sorry. So I'm guessing you're going to have fighter cleric at the front.
Yeah.
Magic user in the middle, and then the trio at the rear.
Yeah.
Or do you want the trio in the middle?
I think the magic user's unfortunately he's such a weak character that he needs a little bit of protection. So the other guys will just have to they'll just have to take at the back there, because actually if anything attacks, although they're carrying stuff, they can take a couple of hits before dying. So
okay, so fighter cleric, magic user in the middle, and then the trio, the Tetris trio at the back.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Gonna give me 2d6.
Ooh. 2.
Interesting.
Back the same way.
But you have your point. So look at this. If you
could take it.
You could go straight up.
Yeah, I could go to 2A, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I'll do that, I think.
Okay, so because you've been here before, you recognize what is it that you recognize that means you say, wait a minute, let's take this other way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What did you roll? A 2, did you? I can't remember, sorry. You rolled a
2, double 1.
Okay, 2.
I think in our explorations before, certainly the pillars and the rooftops maybe were some things there that we kind of recognized that as being kind of fairly kind of memorable. And then one of the guys has then kind of gone, oh, whoa, because we were also kind of preoccupied with chasing after Callum. As we start to go off, he's kind of going, whoa, guys, hang on. Callum was running that way, but actually we should have been going this way, if you remember about how the pillars were.
Okay, so maybe also the pillars had some sort of information on it that pointed. I mean, the other thing is roll up the room too. There might be some information about the next room that help you recognize it. Yeah, go for it.
So the next room is large.
Ooh.
Amorphous, easygoing. But very, very humid.
Okay.
Just very humid.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. So maybe the pillars were kind of almost the same as, because our other humid room was the birthing pools. The spawning pool things that we said that was in some fairly humid rooms. So it was kind of like it felt a little bit more kind of warmer coming down this way. They were like, oh, hang on, guys, this is what we did before. You remember we found those things actually where the slithering trackers were as well.
That's true.
So
that makes sense.
Whether it's just something where they've just naturally kind of spread out from that area.
True, and also maybe this slithering tracker was about to shoot down a certain tunnel. You thought, oh, he's trying to head back to maybe its base.
Yeah.
one of these pillars maybe even had like a marked hexagons on it. You thought, oh, that must be the way. Okay. Anyway, so you realise that actually, you've been in before, and you think actually this is the way, probably leads towards maybe those birthing pools. So your hunch is right, and you're now in an area which is mainly compacted earth with some twigs in it. So you're like, yes, we're definitely heading the right way. We're nearly the top. Oh, and in this room,
Excellent.
there's just a workaround like this. It's just stationary. It's looking at you, but it's just stationary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because it's a large room.
No smells of.
No weird smells. I'd say let's say it's in
No.
the middle of this large room, so it's probably like 40 feet away from you. But it's just kind of like you've seen it.
Okay.
There like this. It appears to be staring at you, but
Yep.
you're not sure, or it could just be looking in your general direction.
Cool. Yep.
All right, so you have plenty of time to think. So obviously you've seen your two guys in the middle are like, what's going on? What do we do with the what do we do with our friend?
So I think and there's nothing else in this room. So essentially,
it's very humid.
Sorry,
so the walls are kind of running with water a little bit because it's so humid. This ant just seems to be covered in condensation.
Is its antenna twitching or anything like that at all, or is it just literally just
perfectly still? In fact,
still?
It's got so much condensation on it, you wonder if it's even moving, as it hasn't moved for a while. You imagine if it had been moving around, it would be, would be less.
Okay. And the rest of the room, like above it and kind of underneath it.
Yeah, give it a roll. So you're looking for. Give me a D20. You're looking for weird stuff, presumably.
Yeah. 7.
Yeah, no.
No, it's mine.
Nothing to see. I should probably roll for these so you could be less paranoid about
it. Okay.
It's a big room. You could try skirt around this. Like last room, they were a bit close. This one.
Yeah. I think I guess circumstances change now because Callum's paralysed. I guess that the concern of the guys is kind of leaving any things around. I thought it was only a workaround.
So I just it'd be really amusing if Callum Savage's eyes can move. That's it.
Yeah.
We did. So anyway, that just amused me, that thought. So yeah.
I think the guys, after a discussion amongst themselves, are going to try and avoid combat if they can, just because of being quite so difficult now with Callum being so douchey. So what we will do is, I think we'll, although it is only a workaround, a little bit concerned that it's not moving at all or anything like that. So there may well be something kind of else around that might try and drop down on us or kind of come up from below or anything like that at all. So we will very cautiously skirt around the edge.
Okay.
And exit and move on.
Okay, I'll roll this one. Okay, so you basically very carefully maneuver around it, and this ant, as you're going around, just like locking onto you and watching you go around, but it doesn't do anything. So you seem to be able to safely navigate past it.
Lovely. Okay, cool. We'll move on if that's all right.
Yep, do it.
Yep. 11.
11. Interesting. Ooh, beauty.
Oh, exit. Hey, nice. I'll take that.
So should we just work on let's roll for the exit, see what the exit contains as the room that contains the exit.
As we're coming out. You just want to kill me, is that it?
Mainly, yeah.
So it is, it's a corridor. So maybe a tunnel leading out.
Ooh, we don't have any
with some
corridors.
obstacles. One or two, not many though. And there's a shaking noise.
Interesting. I'm just looking for something while I'm at it.
Could it maybe be coming out near the waterfall?
Ooh,
with the
that's
noise for the.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's go with that. Okay, so as you come down this corridor, you see the light. You think, hello, Julia, because you're still carrying your friend behind you. And yeah, you hear this hideous rumbling noise, but because you've been in the Hive before, you recognize it to be the sound of the waterfall. So, you know, I'd say this opening is about 20 or 30 feet ahead of you. What do you want to do?
I think draw my sword. But yeah, we'll carry on toward it. Obviously, just trying to be as safe as we can.
Okay, and you're obviously taking breaks because you're carrying this guy. But yeah, so basically you come out, and sure enough, you're not in the same place you were before, which is right near the base of the waterfall, but you're basically off to, say, the right hand side of you. No, yeah, the right hand side of you. You can see the waterfall. So you're out.
Okay, cool.
You're about.
We're just up on the.
Yeah, so you're sort of 3/4 of the way up the height of the ant mound. So as you look to your right, you see the waterfall. Dead ahead, there's actually a pretty sheer drop, so you can't go straight forward. But in front of you, then there's the plain and some woods in front of you. To your left, if you look to your left, you can work your way back around the mound. If you've got Carapace, you could look on the map page. I don't mind, because you'd be able to see. It's near the back. In fact, it's the last page, last content page.
Yeah. That one?
That's it. Yep. So you see where E3 is?
Yep.
So you're halfway between E3 and the sort of the dotty bits.
Okay, cool.
As you move, as you move left to right, as you move leftwards, you can see the waterfall to your left, and then the sheer drop. Those dashy bits, the dots, represent like a sheer drop. So roughly, you've come out roughly there.
Okay, cool.
So you can't really go down, but you could go left or right.
Okay.
Or you could go up. You could go up and try go around the other way.
Out over the top.
Yeah, I mean, bearing in mind, I believe when you came in from the bottom left-hand corner. That was the rough direction you.
We did. No, you're right.
Come in from.
Yep, we absolutely did. So I probably need to go, if I'm going to go back out that way, which is the way we kind of know, then I kind of will go back. So I kind of aim for that kind of, map-wise, I'll aim for the kind of the bottom left corner. So I guess kind of like
So should we roll for the time of,
southwest.
should we roll for the time of day, because it's been a while. So
yeah,
you went in, you fought the queen, you've come back out. So you probably went in early morning, didn't you? So I would say actually it's probably early evening now. So you could try maybe hunker down in this room, this corridor, or you could try find maybe a safe place.
Okay, I mean, is it fairly defensible?
Well, I mean, it's a corridor, I guess. So you got,
but there's kind of like not loads of entrances coming onto the corridor, or
no, it's
like
just
where we come out, you can.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I would say you could either try find a more you could backtrack to the workaround room, which is a big room, and wait there, or you could just hunker down in the corridor, which isn't,
I think to be fair, I think we'll hunker down. It may well be an entrance of some sort for the beasties and stuff, but does it look like there's any kind of like a lot of movement along there or anything like that at all?
Well, it's a bit hard to say, but it looks like maybe not a primary entrance to the Hive, but it clearly obviously sometimes ants must go in and out of there.
Yeah. I think I'm quite happy to for us to defend as we're going along. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Okay. So are your magic users and clerics going to do try to recuperate all their spells and shit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We guess we've got to worry about Callum Savage. What are you going to do with him?
I mean, obviously we'll lie him down, keep him warm.
So who's guarding the entrance at the mouth of the tunnel, and who's going to guard the?
So I think we'll do that in rotations, just so that people can get some rest as well.
Well, I think the magic users are going to be learning their spells, so I guess they're just doing their own thing. So it's got to be the thief, the cleric, and that's it, isn't it?
The other fighter. Oh no, hang on,
no, the thief, the cleric, the other fighter.
Fighter, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that's fine. I'm just going to see if they have an undisturbed night. Okay. Yep, undisturbed night. Nothing particularly interesting happens. So about 2 in the morning, like Callum said, just suddenly like goes, ah! Like dive on him and he thrashes around a bit, and then you finally calm down. So he basically. So I think everyone gains a hit point apart from him because he didn't really have a very restful night.
Oh, okay, cool, lovely. That's the most important one.
And obviously, you've got your spells back to the extent you need them, which you might.
Cool, thank you. Lovely. Okay, cool.
So this brings the
okay, well, so everyone in kind of slightly better fettle, as it were. So we'll aim to kind of come out and then go down. I guess kind of looking at your map thing, we'll kind of try to get down, kind of through like in between the two dotty bits that will take us down toward.
So between
the southwest.
Yeah, so between E2 and the southwest. We'll Google it actually, just see what you can find. So Google in the heart of the unknown.
In the heart of the unknown.
Then you might have to add the word Hex Flower if you've got like some weird country songs.
No. Let's come up with Drive-Through RPG and also Goblin's Henchman WordPress. Oh, okay, cool. Is this what we used to get here?
It wasn't what you used to go here because you had a guide last time.
Of course, yep.
What I'm going to say, and it gives me an excuse to try this out on your derriere, unless you just want to get back to town. I don't really mind. But what we could do is explore.
No, let's try it, man.
Okay, good. Let's do that. So this is like the Hex Flower you just used to navigate the Hive.
Yeah.
This is a wilderness thing. So people sometimes use this for solo role playing. Let me just get this.
Did you do this again?
Yeah, this is one of mine. This one's actually done quite well. It's an Electrum bestseller on Drive-Through, which means because I don't charge anything for my stuff, which means that people, when they can donate money if they want to, like a tip jar, to encourage me to make more things like this. So, so this is a game engine that generates a wilderness adventure.
Yeah. And
so what you do is you use it in a similar way you did to Carapace, but it's like generates encounters, weather, terrain, that kind of stuff. So let me just email this to you because I'm going to get you to generate the weather and terrain. Because I'm going to say, you guys, you've been a long couple of days. You don't have your guide anymore, and you thought you were going to have a guide. You don't have a ranger, so you're a little bit disorientated. So you're now going to have to get back to town. I'll talk you through it because like the other one, it takes just a little bit of orientation.
So I love that you do all of this stuff, dude. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to patronize you to say that I'm proud of you, but
No, it's yeah, it's just a bit of side geekery that I've got involved with. Right, here we go. So it should be coming to you as a PDF now. So it was difficult with the slithering tracker because it doesn't say how long it paralyzes you for, because normally it gets you in your sleep and just digests you in 6 turns.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I had to kind of 6 turns is like an hour. So I figured, well, if it can drain you in an hour, it must paralyze you for longer than an hour.
Yeah.
I basically
Well, you'd hope.
Rolled a d6 to see how many hours. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, so we've got a couple of hex flowers here. The top one is the encounter engine. So because you just exited the dungeon, see the middle hex?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to start you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
That's the dungeon. And you're trying to get to the castle, which is large settlement / city / destination. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll on that one, I think, because that's the kind of encounter engine. You are going to roll on the terrain engine. That tells you what terrain you're in. So I think in this case we'll start in the middle again, because it's actually we're kind of woods, aren't we? So instead of that, because you're kind of in the hive, you're kind of in a wooded area, just surrounded by trees. So see the big pine tree over on the far right hand side in the same row as the question mark.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're going to start you, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's the terrain.
Okay.
And weather, let's just start. Well, let's just start on the same hex as you currently are. As in, let's start in the middle, shall we? Because it's easier to track. Okay, so that's the current weather today. Okay. So while I'm working on the counters, you're going to use the navigation engine, which is same as before. 12 is straight up, 6 is straight down.
Yeah.
And if you go off the edge, you go to the column or row. So I'm not going to be able to print mine off because I could.
No, I can't either. But I've got two. I've got 2 hives, hex flowers, so I'll follow stuff on that.
Okay. Oh, I see. You're gonna like say, oh, I'm roughly there. Okay.
Just not with destination, but with the terrain and with the weather.
Yeah. Fine. That's cool.
So did we say the weather we're just starting in the middle?
Yeah, start in the middle, and it doesn't really matter.
And then the terrain is the pine tree furthest right.
Yeah, or we could just start in the middle. I mean,
pine tree, because we said we're in trees, didn't we? So
yeah, okay, right. So let's do that. Okay,
cool.
So have you done all the buffing you need to do? Because obviously you've got healing, you've memorized your spells.
Yeah, I think I mean everyone's kind of. I guess you're not. Hang on.
Your magic user was a bit low, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, he's only 2 hit points lower than his maximum, so.
All right.
Although I guess I should probably get him up. Okay, cool. So yeah, the cleric will cast Cure Light Wounds on the thief, the Callum, the magic user, and himself.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, so thief gains 6. I'll back up to max. Magic user, back up to max. Again 4, but it isn't 4. That makes sense. Callum gains 5, and then the cleric gains 7. Lovely. Cool. So what I might do is click between the 2. Yeah, that's probably cool, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Okay, buddy.
Okay, yeah. I'm just reading my own rules for a second. Add those up.
Should I do the terrain change or?
Yeah. Okay. So I've rolled on the encounter. So you do the terrain and weather.
Okay. Ooh, lovely. Cool. So 4 for the terrain, which will take me to the
Hills.
hills. That's not bad.
Yep.
Hills, yep. So that takes me to them. And then weather-wise,
6.
Sunny, a little bit overcast.
Okay. So as you set out, you start heading towards where you think the town is, and as you move through these trees, it starts getting more and more hilly, and
Yep.
it started in the morning quite rainy and drizzly, but it begins to brighten, which is nice. And sorry, I got to check something. Let me just. But while you're walking this way, you come across a road, so
Ooh.
you can choose to follow the road, because roads tend to lead to settlements, don't they? Or you can
They do tend to, yep.
it's across, because it's across your path as you're traveling, so you can choose to follow it or you can avoid it. So I just realized I've forgotten how to do something because I haven't done this for a while. I wasn't expecting to get here today.
Well, what are you trying to say, man? I just saying I'm a bit shit.
No, I just can't remember. How does this work? So I just can't remember how I do this. Right. All right. Okay. I think I remember it. I see how to do it. Okay. Give me a sec. Oh, that reminds me. Sorry. No, I've screwed this up. Okay. So yeah. So you come across this road, and yeah, there's nothing particularly untoward.
Yeah.
You're picking up.
I guess sorry, I was just thinking I probably should have taken stuff down, and I haven't personally. Do I know roughly which direction I needed to go to get back to the?
You mean?
So I come across this road. I'm either going to go. I guess if it's we're going to go. Let's just, for instance, north or south.
Yeah.
Do I roughly know which way I'm going?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's you've got a broad idea. You think, right, we know we're heading that way, and that seems the most logical. You know which one of these limbs seems the most sensible way to go.
Yeah, cool. Well, I think to be fair, I mean, does it look well traveled, or is it just just...
So I mean, you're still fairly in the wilderness, so it's not exactly. It is a bit overgrown and not particularly well traveled, but it definitely appears to be at least a ride. A place people ride horses down to keep it
cool.
Keep it open enough to be called.
We'll follow the road, I think.
Okay, right. So I'm going to say you travel that day. You camp camp by side of the road. Nothing weird happens, and the next day you continue.
Cool.
Okay.
Lovely. Can I say before we go to sleep, can the cleric cast cure light wounds on himself and then cure serious wounds on Callum?
Yeah, sure. Do what you need to do.
Is that right?
Yep.
So I need 2 or more for the cleric just to get back up to max, or actually 1 or more, because I guess if they get a good night's sleep, that's if they get a good night's sleep. But that was a 5, so he's back up to maximum. And then it's 2d8 plus 2, I think, but I don't need that many, so no. And Callum's back up to maximum as well.
Okay.
Is it right?
Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, forgot to say. No, let's get this right. Some, okay. Yeah, so what's the weather and terrain like?
Yep. So terrain. Roll a 5. So going back to the also still on the hills.
Oh yeah, you're still in hills. Okay.
Yep. And then weather. Ooh, 12. Straight up, which takes me back to where we were. So kind of a little bit of rain, but sunny. Standard Bristol day.
Okay. Okay, so you're still going along this road up to the hills when as you progress, you start noticing up in the gorge there seems to be what looks like maybe some smoke or something wisping up in around the bend, sort of up around the corner. So you sort of
Okay.
you think there must be something there, possibly.
Okay, cool. All right then. Well, I think we're still gonna kind of carry on. Just obviously a little bit more cautiously now, just to kind of make sure we're not taking.
So you're going to continue down. Are you going to continue down the road, or are you going to maybe possibly scout around, see what's going on?
Well, this yeah, was about to say. So it's around a corner that we can't see. Is that because there's woods, or is it just because it's like around
because you're going down a road,
valley?
Yeah, because you're going down a road through hills. There's sort of hills on the side, and you're kind of roads kind of at the base.
Yeah.
So as it's weaving round, possibly about half a mile away, you can see smoke. You're thinking.
Okay, but kind of coming up over. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we will kind of scout. We'll scout round so that we're not just approaching along the road, so that we don't get duffed up.
Okay, so
that way. So, but keeping where the road is in mind.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just check what I've written here. Okay, so. All right. Okay, so as you're weaving your way up, you basically get this pretty nasty stench coming through the air, and as you're walking around, this ogre just comes basically literally out around the corner, and you're basically just squared off with them. You both literally stumble into each other.
Okay.
So give me a D2. Give me a D6.
D6. 5.
Okay, you're surprised for 2 rounds. So you're like, but it isn't. Okay.
Oh dear.
So
that could be bad.
At least you're all up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just look this up, dude. Monster Mail doesn't give you page numbers. That's interesting. You might want to think. Are you going to think about your any spells and stuff? I know you're currently surprised, but I don't know what you're thinking. Give me a sec.
done that. Dickhead. Oh, well.
Okay, so I presume you've got your pretty routine standard marching order, don't you?
Yep.
So it's going to go and basically gets 2 free attacks on Count Savage.
Yep.
Goes straight for him, barrels in. Sorry. Oh. Count Savage, is it 2?
It is 2. Yep.
Okay. He's got this almighty spear in one hand, and he like basically rams it straight into the side of Callum's chest, and he sort of dodges and it kind of wings past.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, his reactions are super stealthy, and he only takes three hit points of damage.
Oh, lovely. Cool.
And at the same time, this ogre lets out this almighty bellow.
Yeah.
Rings
Okay.
round the hills in a rather alarming fashion.
Yeah. No, I guess there wouldn't just be the one. Okay, cool. Cool. Is that both his attacks or just the one?
That's both his attacks. Basically, he rushes in,
Cool.
but only one of them is a glancing shot.
Okay.
So
So obviously the 2 fighters are going to belt him back.
Oh, they're doing initiative actually, I'm afraid.
Oh yeah.
6.
8.
Okay. So he's going to stick on Callum because he doesn't like the look of him. Misses.
Lovely. Okay. Sorry. The 2 fighters are going to belt him back. I think the fighter magic user is going to belt him.
Ooh, exciting. I don't know what level he is.
As is the cleric.
They're all in, eh?
The thief is gonna. Is there any undergrowth or anything like that at all, or?
There's a bit of scrub about, but it's mainly hills.
Yeah.
There's scrub.
Okay. So the thief is just gonna kind of go round them and then just see around the corner to see if there's kind of more beasties or anything like that at all.
So he's looking in the direction of the smoke, essentially, is he?
The smoke, yeah.
The smoky direction. Okay, so thief is spying out land. All 2 fighters, fighter magic user, and cleric are all going to have a tonk.
Yep. And then the magic user is gonna magic missile.
Okay. So do you want to do magic missile first?
Yep. I can't remember how many it was.
4.
4, was it?
Well, you're doing 4 before, so.
Yep. Sorry, mate. Bear with.
It's a bit drizzly underfoot. So whilst it's not completely slippery, you've got to be a bit careful.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, buddy. The kids love mucking about with the dice, man.
You're good. Don't worry.
I got 3 down. Reroll one of them. Okay, so magic missile streaking for 15.
That's harsh. Right, give me a sec. All right. You said 15, did you?
15. Yep. 1-5.
Okay, well, this thing doesn't look very happy at all by that action already. Go on, hit your other rolls.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So 2 from Callum. Oh, at last. A 20
Ooh,
and
nice.
a 16.
Ooh, both hit.
Okay. So the 20, which is going to be doubled, obviously.
Yep.
Oh, 18.
Ooh. Okay, well, I don't know about any of the rest of it, but literally, Colonel Savage, after the indignity of being carried to a dungeon, is keen to show that he's worth having in the dungeon. He literally does this massive stroke upwards and pretty much cuts the ogre in half from his hip up through to his armpit. His body just goes flump.
Nice.
And the others
Nice.
while the others are piling in, and whatever they hit, it almost doesn't seem to. I mean, you can roll for glory if you like. Do you?
No, because they might fumble.
Good point. Let's roll. All right. Okay. So Callum, after getting sliced to the ribs, he's just like, I'm not having that anymore. Okay. So this effort's down. What do you want to do?
Okay. Does the thief see anything? Any more guys kind of running around the corner?
Roll under your wisdom, please.
Right, that is cock. Hey, 9. Wisdom of him is 12.
Okay. So he could see, to some extent, some of the undergrowth wobbling. So he thinks something is approaching, but he's not at this stage not sure. I mean, give me another wisdom roll, please.
Mm-hmm.
So he's seen something.
Is it just one area, or is it?
Well, that's why if you give me
one bit of undergrowth.
Yeah, give me another roll. And I'll give a bit more information, if that's all right.
Hey, 4.
Okay, so it's basically coming from one area. It looks like it's moving towards you, but it doesn't. You've seen an ogre, right? But what's approaching does not appear to be hundreds of ogres. It seems to be, very localized. So at the moment.
Okay. All right then.
But, it's. He thinks something's coming, but and it's enough to disturb the undergrowth. So he's probably figuring it might be another ogre or a couple of ogres, but he's not thinking 10 ogres.
Okay. All right then. So the guys will just kind of. I think he'll go back and report to the posse, as it were.
Yeah.
And then the guys will they'll stand with the bisected ogre in front of them, just acting really casual and kind of like, yeah, right, come on, bring it on, bitches. If they want to come around and kind of see their mate sliced in half.
Sorry, what? Well, they're joining him back together and propping him up, are they?
No, they'll just kind of stand there, just with their hands on their swords, just kind of ready for these guys when they come out, and with the bisected ogre on the floor in front of them.
Okay, I got it. All right. So, and they're going to wait, are they? So about 2 turns later, basically 2 more ogres burst into the clearing like this. They obviously see this scene before them, and I'm going to give them a reaction roll, see what they think of this. Oh man, where's the DMG put it in the reaction rolls? Jeez, basically I've been dealing with giant ants, so I didn't need to worry about morale for a while. It's here somewhere. I know it's backwards from. I mean, I could just wing it, of course, which I might have to do because I'm not going to. Let's see if there's an index in this DMG. I'm sure there is. Oh, there is. Okay. Didn't used to worry about indexes. I just knew where it was.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it, man? We really did as well.
It's so funny. My this DMG, I used to basically be able to pinch it, and I'd pinch open the encounter table. I just knew where it was by feel.
Yeah,
And there it is.
it is one of those things. Just when we used to just do it so much.
Yeah, 24-hour sessions and all that.
Stuff, you just knew exactly where it was, didn't you? Or you'd memorized it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, all right. Let me give them a roll. Because they're quite big beasties, they're not easily intimidated. There's two of them and not used to fighting, you know, haven't met your kind before, but obviously the sight of their bisected friend is giving them pause for thought, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can roll if you like. I can tell you what you have to get under.
No.
Right, here we go. Let's just side. Okay. Okay. They take one look at this, laugh, and then come barreling in. They seem to find it funny that Gongum got split in half. Okay, so they're coming storming in.
I might get that way.
Okay, let me roll hit points, and then we'll do initiative. I don't think anyone's surprised because there's been that standoff.
Yeah.
All right. So they come storming straight in. Give us a number on D10.
7.
Okay, they got a 5.
Got it. All right.
Okay. I'm presuming I'm going to put one on each fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I turn the page? That was dumb. Oh, one of the fighters got better armor class, doesn't he?
Yeah. So the lower guy, Haynar, has 0.
Okay, my green dice is going to be on him then.
Okay.
Right, they're rather overconfident, thinking that you're peasants, and they both miss.
Excellent. Okay. So the cleric is going to join Callum. Both the magic users are going to ping a magic missile barrage off at the one on Haynar. And then the thief is going to, in the distraction of stuff, going to kind of circle around the back to maybe try and get in an attack of opportunity if they're left after that.
So he's going to try to circle around. I mean, these guys are a little bit more savvy than some ants, so you know it's not impossible. In the confusion, he can nip around and get that in, but it's a good idea. Okay, so do you want to do your magic missiles?
Okay.
Who's going on? Haynar, did you say?
The one that's on Haynar, yeah.
Okay.
So the first barrage. Oh, that's a shame. 15.
Okay.
Second barrage.
Is this on the same ogre?
On the same ogre, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
They're both focusing on that one. 13.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's like 4th of July, just blah 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 blah. And this thing is just pretty much just falls backwards, completely wrecked.
Excellent. Let's just mark that down. Cool. Okay, cool. 2 from Callum.
Okay.
Not quite so good this time. A natural 2.
Right.
That'll take it to 4 with his pluses.
Yep.
And 12, taking it to 14 with his pluses.
Okay. Well, that's a second blow lands.
Both.
Just
one hit, or
just one hit. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. Sorry. For 6.
Okay.
And then the cleric. Oh man, I swear to God, 2 so close to 20. 2.
Right, okay. Well, he misses. All right. So your cleric, your thief is now in position, but I think next turn he can have he might be able to get away with trying. Okay. So you ready to do initiative?
Yep.
Be a 3.
Yeah. Jeepers and creepers, man. 7.
All right. Let's have
No
a look
chance.
it up. Okay. Well, despite seeing his friend go up in smoke, this ogre still doesn't appear to be overly deterred, even though he's got like a massive gash down his chest. He's just he's just so pumped up. He's like absolutely enraged. So he's going to have a dig at Callum. Because you toasted the Hanar one, didn't you?
Yep.
Hit.
Oh dear.
So this thing's got like a thing that almost looks like a giant rake. It's a pretty ugly looking tool. And does 6 damage.
Ooh. Cool. Okay. The pure magic user is going to look around, see if there's anything else coming.
Okay.
Haynar's going to wade into the ogre as well. And the fighter magic user is going to wade in with his sword as well.
Okay. So they're all going to try take this ugly brute down.
Yeah. And then obviously thief as well. Thief can be able to get in there as well. That'll be 5 around him.
He needs to. What's his thief skills? What have you got for what are your various creeping kind of stats? Are they all hidden?
Move silently.
Yeah. What have you got? What are the categories again? I forget. Move silently.
So there's move silently, hide in shadows.
Okay. Yeah. It gives him move silently roll. What do you need?
Move silently.
In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll roll it. You tell me what.
70%.
You tell me. 17.
70%.
70.
70.
Okay, I'll roll for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he thinks he's creeping up on him.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll do him first.
Okay. Give us a D20.
15.
It's a hit. And it's complete.
Plus 3.
He definitely catches his ogre completely off guard, so he's going to get a double damage.
Lovely, cool. He's got plus 3 dagger. Sorry, a plus 2 dagger, plus 3 versus creatures larger than man size.
Ooh, nice. He's perfectly adapted.
So 7, 14.
Okay, so basically the halfling this ogre's like, because he was stabbing like that with his fork, he's got his like calf like kind of bent out, and the halfling just runs up his calf, runs up, and there's like plants it right in the base of his neck. This thing just like
nice. Excellent.
Down.
Okay. Dirty blighters. So I think we'll get the thief to searching the bodies.
Yep.
The 2 magic users kind of standing ready, and then the fighters will kind of just move forwards very slightly just to see if there's anything else coming through, with the cleric in between kind of ready for anything as well.
Yeah. So on basically they have 40 gold pieces on them each.
Each? Oh wow. Okay.
On average. So one has 42 and one has 38.
Yeah.
So basically got 40 each on them. But other than that, they got some pretty rough hides. They look a bit skinny, as if like, you know, maybe they're not hit on the best of times,
Okay.
but they're obviously. So you know, when they saw you, they thought they were on for an easy meal.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay, so you're still up on the
Okay,
hill.
cool. So I guess there's still a smoke coming up as well from just around the corner.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. Well, no, yeah. If you go over the hills, and you could try to creep towards it.
Yeah. And is there anything kind of? It's probably too late now, but have they got any kind of like blood that's not theirs or anything like that on them, or essentially if they attack something, burnt it, and have they
Oh, no,
killed
no.
loads of people? I think.
Not that you know. There's not. They don't look like they've been in a scrap for a while. They look skinny but
Okay.
unharmed. You know, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
No recent kind of scabby wounds or pussy areas or something.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So what we'll do is, rather as we said, rather than go around on the actual road, we'll kind of go over the hill.
Yeah. Okay.
To look
So
down.
as you creep up along the hill, and you kind of almost find like an animal trail, which you sort of, well, you conclude it's probably an ogre trail, but you sort of follow it along carefully, and you get to the top of the hill, and you look down, and where the road bends around the bend, there seems to be what looks like essentially probably a cave that goes into the hillside, but with a kind of ramshackle kind of logs and stuff leaning by it. And you know, you wait there for about 20 or so 30 minutes, and you see a couple of ogres milling around that area. I mean, you probably clock at least 2 different individuals, but you're not sure if that's all of them.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they didn't seem to be particularly fussed by the giant roar. They probably thought, maybe they thought Golfag had found himself a meal, or the other 2 were fighting each other or something. But they don't seem particularly worried or concerned at the moment by the giant roar that went up.
Okay.
But they're definitely ogres.
By the side of this road as well, that may well be a thing for people to come down. I think the guys are slightly buoyed by their relatively easy victories so far, but also they're fairly socially conscious, I think. So they'll I think what we'll do is we'll start to kind of we'll just survey the area just a little bit more, not for too much longer, because obviously we don't want those guys to be missed.
Yeah.
But we'll just see if we can kind of spot any more, and then what we'll do is I think stick together, because we seem to have worked quite well on those things. So maybe come down. So if our encounter was kind of there with the road go around with their encampment there, then what we'll do is we'll come this way, so that we're coming from a different direction.
Well,
but
I mean,
kind of scouting out to see if there's any kind of sentries or anything like that.
Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, broadly, you have 2 choices. You could try raid this lair, try to finish them off, or because you're up high now, you could actually probably go along the road a bit more, go along the hill line a bit more, and then rejoin the road further down, cutting them out.
Yeah, we could.
I'm not saying you have to. Just want you to be aware that you don't have to.
Yeah.
You have the option to skirt about if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think these guys, though, they're all kind of, as I say, they're relatively, you know, they've taken their kind of the quest or whatever you want to call it. They've taken that fairly seriously for the guys,
and they're goody, aren't they? They're good alignment, aren't they?
Yeah. So I think that, you know, they don't really want these ogres kind of around to be able to take advantage and kill potentially like innocents and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, they've clearly set themselves up on this road, presumably as a sort of a way of catching unwary bystanders.
Yeah,
that's what you figure.
So we're aiming to take them out.
Okay, so you're going to come from a slightly different direction, are you?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
maybe not along the road.
no, I figured not along the road, but yeah, sure.
So yeah.
To be fair, you're on the hillside that's on the opposite side to the camp. You'd have to go back
Yep.
the way you were, cross over the road, and then come back round the top, or you could come down your hill and then just charge the camp straight on. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, I think trying to keep the higher ground, I think we probably will come straight down, because we know that there's nothing on our essentially what will be on our left flank, unless stuff kind of comes back around. So
yeah, well, you know, it's unlikely that something's behind you, because you came that way and you blundered into these 2-3 ogres. So all you know is there could be something ahead, but you can see you've come close enough to see the settlement, and looking down, there's nothing in front of you. So what you'd have to do is sort of creep maybe another 200 meters down the hill, and then you could do a frontal charge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say you're basically now in the sort of scrubby bushes about, I don't know, about 40 feet, 40 meters away from these brutes. So you've seen 3 of them now. I mean, there could be something further in the cave, but you've seen 3, and they're basically squabbling over what looks like some sort of deer carcass or something. They don't seem particularly. They haven't clocked you at all, so you could rush them. Actually, a bit of roll. It sounds like we're gonna have a fight, so let's get on with it.
So they're all squabbling over this thing. So they're all in quite close proximity to each other.
Pretty close,
so I think
yeah. The ones you can see
is for those 3 is drop a fireball on them.
You could, yeah. I think if you were going to plan to do that, you could have made sure that you're at least the requisite 20 feet away. So yeah, you're far enough away to do that if you wanted to.
Yep. With everyone else, so we'll fire the fireball in, and then everyone else will kind of have ranged weaponry ready, so that A, if anything else comes out, we can shoot them, and B, if any of the ogres aren't fried by this by the fireball, we can then maybe take them out.
Okay, so you're basically going to drop the fireball where they're cooking, and then you're going to be ready to see what happens next with bows, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to roll your dice, and I'll make a saving throw?
He is level.
I don't suppose you remember what you save against. Did we do spell last time?
Probably just spells, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess it's just spells. It doesn't really say. It says.
Well, I'm going to pick spell. It's all right.
Creatures fail a saving throw.
Okay. So do you want to roll your damage, please?
Yep. So it's a D6 for every level.
That's right. So I think 76.
And he's level 7. Yeah.
It's nice being high level, isn't it? Just toss a fireball at these mofos.
Apart from the fact that he's properly weak, but yeah.
If he gets a hit, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he is very much so. 22.
22.
Oh, hang on. No, I only rolled 6. Sorry, one more. Sorry. 25.
25. So what's half of 25? That's 10, 13.
30.
I'm feeling tired. You might go away with it. Right, 25 and 10, 11, 12, 12 and a half, whatever. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so it's fireball launches, and for whatever reason, one of them stands up and he just takes it full square in the chest, and that kind of partly shields the other two who kind of almost like reel away from it. But they certainly get in the aura. Okay, give me a d6, please.
4.
Okay, well, even despite this, you don't seem to surprise them. They're obviously, maybe they're so used to squabbling amongst themselves, they're not surprised. Instinctively, they both leg it into the cave.
So the one that took it full in the chest, he's dead, is he?
Yeah, he's
toast. Cool.
Basically, yeah, kind of almost basically part of a head, a couple of forearms, and a few feet, but that's basically it. Other than that, it's just ash.
Excellent. And do I get any chance to shoot the other guys when they're running, or were they that ready for it?
Well, that's a good question. I guess you might have been firing at the same time. So let's do initiative and see whether basically. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you've got a chance to fire that off. Oh, no, I guess you get. No, I think you've got an attack. Go for it.
An attack?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a good point.
So
Here we go. Wait,
Callum,
I told you.
So I've got two things. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So let's.
So Callum and the thief will fire at one of the ogres, and then Haynar, the fighter magic user, and the cleric will shoot at the other one.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yep.
So 2 shots from Callum.
It should be 4, shouldn't it?
Oh, 4. Oh,
you got your 3-2 thing, don't you?
Yep. So,
tell you what, give me initiative. It's all right. If you win initiative, you get all your shots off. Otherwise, I'll give you 2. Beat 7.
1.
Okay, so you get all your shots off
for once. Okay, cool. So I have +1 to hit. So I've got 2 10s, an 11, and a 19.
Say it again. 2 10s, 11, and 19.
An 11 and a 19.
Okay, they all hit.
All hit? Oh wow.
I
think he's probably dead then, isn't he? But
I'm gonna say yes, he's dead. Roll for glory though.
24.
Yep. That more than the fireball.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so 2 shots from Callum, as in not to attacks, but not Callum, sorry, Haynar. With an 8 and a 5.
Nope. 2 misses.
2 from the fighter mage. Okay, he's a bit better. With a 12 and a 10.
12 and a 10. He's a bit weird, isn't he? Is he level 7 because he's lower level
He's a 5th
fighter?
level fighter.
5th. I think that is a hit. Do you say 12 and a what?
Yeah. 12 and a 10, I think I said.
I better check the 10.
So I picked them up.
It's all right. Oh, fighter. Okay, 1 hit, 1 miss.
Okay. 5 damage.
So let me just check that again. Was that 5?
Yes.
Okay.
And then a 15 and a 5 from the cleric. Level 7.
15 and a 5.
Yep.
So 15's a hit.
Lovely. Please for 7.
Can clerics use bows? How's that work?
Oh,
Must be a sling.
I'd rather just. Maybe it is.
I think slings might
Which
be
is less damage, isn't
1
it?
to 4, isn't it?
I think it is.
I mean, in theory, you could have a bow with like a
Shame.
blunt end, couldn't you?
Oh, wow. A sling bullet against large is 2 to 7.
Ooh. Really? Oh, it's a David and Goliath.
Mm.
That's why.
For 5.
5. Okay, is that it?
Yep.
Okay, so this almighty fireball goes off, and then like all these, and basically one's incinerated, one falls down with like a hedgehog from Callum Savage's. He's obviously got something against these ogres, but one of them, he just nips around the corner into the cave.
Yep.
Not looking very happy, but he definitely
Okay.
is kind of like, ooh.
Okay. So can we hear anybody else kind of shouting and screaming, "What the fuck's all this about?" and stuff like that coming out, or?
It's all quiet at the moment.
Lovely. Okay, cool. So we'll advance towards the cave. Initially, both ready.
You giving it a couple of rounds, or what? You see if anyone's coming out?
I think we're going to go in relatively quickly because we don't want to give him time to kind of get himself beefed up or anything like that at all.
So what?
Charging, well defended.
Charging in, or just cautiously walking? I'm just trying to figure out what you're up to.
I think, based on the fact that they're not particularly, they don't seem to be particularly well fed or anything like that at all. I don't think there's going to be that many of them. So I think we're gonna go in quick.
Okay, you're gonna rush in. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's have initiative roll then. 4.
9.
Right, okay. So you
These
rush
guys are
in.
rubbish.
Right, when you rush in, it's dark. It takes a little while for you guys to like get your bearings, and by the time you realise what's going on, you the round after that you kind of explore out a bit, and you realise this guy must have let himself out of a secondary hole somewhere and skedaddling. So you can attempt to track and trace, or you can let him.
Well, I think if he, I guess we hit him a couple of times. He's not dead, but he's certainly probably injured-ish. So he's gonna. I guess the trail will be relatively easy thing there. So again, just on the fact that we don't want an injured, angry ogre kind of loose in the countryside. Like we might be miles away from anywhere, but we just don't want him around or anything like that at all. So we will kind of track him down and kill him off.
Okay. Well, give me another initiative.
Oh, my God, 10.
Okay, well, he's obviously got a pretty good head start on you, and he probably knows the terrain. So the trail seems to run pretty cold. So unless you want to spend a good day or more trying to track him down, it's pretty cold, and you're not sure. He seems to have a pretty good understanding of the lay of the land and the mountains and stuff. So you think he's going to be hard to find?
Yeah. I think if he's gone to ground, he's gone to ground, hasn't he? So I think we'll kind of go back to their kind of cave place.
Yep.
And see if there's anything we need to take from there. And then maybe kind of make it as untenable as possible for people for them to come back, or for him to come back, or anybody else to take over.
Okay, fair enough. So you find 110 gold pieces or thereabouts in loot.
Yep.
Let me just have a look on this. In the day when I used to, prepare it in advance, I'd always have rolled out all this treasure, but it's quite fun rolling on the fly to see what actually is in its place.
Yeah. It does make me think of those kind of classic cartoons of like two skeletons going, oh yeah, we'll take with these rusty swords, but there's this really good +5 trident in the where would we use that?
No, that's no good. There's this die, right? So give me a sec. Okay, so you find 2 gems.
Ooh.
Man, they do some real wacky stuff in these charts. double 0. In this case, you didn't want that. Yeah, right. In this case, you didn't want that. Okay. So find 8,000 copper pieces.
Wow, quite a running.
You find 1,000 electrum pieces. You'll also be doing a cracking trade. You also find another 8 gems.
Ooh.
And 2 bits of jewelry. So basically another amber brooch. No, scrap that. You find, a couple of nice bracelets and a necklace. By the way, there's quite a lot of bones in this place. Okay, any 3%. Okay, any 3. I'll get that. Any 3. Making sense. Give me a second, dude. Oh, that's a different thing. Is it? Oh, yes, a different category. Okay. Yeah, and you find some broken up kind of bits of armor and sword. Most of it pretty ropey. It looks like the sort of stuff you'd find on a merchant's wagon guard. Yeah. Just read this. It doesn't make any sense. What do you make of this? So under maps and magic, it says sword, armor, or misc, full stop. And then it says weapon 10%. Is it saying there's a sword, armor, or misc, and also 10% of a weapon? Sword, armor, or misc, full stop. And then it says weapon, 10%, but it's also, misc is a full stop. And a lowercase weapon, so it is one sentence. So yeah, I think it's sword, armor, or misc.
10% of
weapon for 10% chance of one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's mainly gold and copper.
Okay. That's fine. Yep. Okay, cool.
So basically,
so we'll take all of that stuff.
You basically burn out the cave and you destroy any kind of like their crap bedding, and you basically try to like make the place uninhabitable as possible. I mean,
yeah,
it's getting towards night. You could camp down here and see if he comes back, I suppose. You probably want to get a very good night's sleep knowing that you have to wait him out.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we're all okay, so I'm quite happy to do that if we can get him, then that would be best. But let's see if he's silly enough to come back to try and get stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll not. Oh, excuse me. Did we find the bolt hole that you got out of?
Well, yes. You figure, yeah. It was basically at the back. There was a like a chimney shaft that looked like he kind of like scaled up and then shot out.
Okay, cool. So so we'll
Okay, he doesn't come back.
okay, cool, fine. Yeah, lovely. All right, dude. Nice.
All right, so pick up from here next time.
Yeah, I reckon so.